There was someone I met in Israel who I was blown away a few weeks ago. A woman named Iska Steinberg. Anybody hear of Iska Steinberg? Special person. Her husband, Yonatan, was, I think, the first or one of the first soldiers killed on October 7th. And he was a very high-ranking officer. I think he's a brigadier general. He's a very high-ranking officer who doesn't normally go into battle, that kind of thing, without a whole unit. But he just, he knew what was going on and he ran in. So it was just sort of paint the picture for you. We're sitting in her living room. There was about 20 of us sitting in her living room, and you see pictures of her husband Yonatan, pictures on the wall, pictures on the bookshelf. You see his talis bag with his name on it. Her kids were playing in the corner, playing some games, and it's very real. It's not, sometimes you meet a speaker somewhere and they're talking, and it's like you don't realize that there's a real life. You're sitting in her life. You're sitting in her living room. And we're about to hear this story of this heroic brigadier general who gave his life, a father of young children, a husband, for Klal Yisrael. And she talks for about an hour and a half or so, hour and a half. And what was so mind-blowing for everybody who was listening was that she spent about 90% of her talk not about how he heroically died or what he did on October 7th. 90% of her talk was about how he lived. She went on and on and on, talking about how together we made decisions as a couple, we make decisions for our family. When he wanted to take a promotion in the army and the next level, it was always a family decision. We would discuss it together. How would that affect us? How would it affect family life? He would be away on a mission for weeks on end. He would finally come home that night. He would walk in dirty. He hasn't showered in sometimes a week or two, who knows. He would come in. He would not go and clean up. He would right away come right into the kitchen, helping with the dishes, being with the kids, do everything he can around the house. Only then, when he was literally ready to collapse, then he would go and take care of himself. And she goes on and on and on for 90% of the talk. Was about how he lived his life as such a mensch and such a father and such a yid, a husband, everything. And I think that, and then a small part was, what happened in his story of how he heroically died, was killed. And some people might go, "Ooh, that's a letdown." You come to hear the story, the heroic story, and she, only a small percentage she's talking about what happened on October 7th. It was very interesting that the guys listened to this. Was one of the most impactful parts of the trip for them, because she wasn't focused at all on his heroic death. How he's being remembered, and what her focus was who he was as a husband, and how much she appreciated everything he did, and how much gratitude she had for all the time she had with him. And the guys walked out of there and they're like, "Wow, I don't have to die a hero. I have to live as a good husband and a good father."